So today we're talking about compassion, and the Pali word for compassion is karuna. And the reason that I like to bring up the Pali words, last week the focus was loving kindness, and the Pali word for that is metta, is that we actually, when we connect with the original word in meditation, we actually can sometimes have sensations that arise in our hearts. And there's a mudra that is connected to the four heavenly abodes, the four Brahma Viharas. And for metta, we connect our index finger and our thumb. And so, just as an exercise, just close your eyes, put both feet on the earth, and just connect your index finger and your thumb, and just quietly to yourself, just say the word metta, and just notice if there's any sensation in your heart or your body or your mind, or something arises. Sometimes there'll be a color or an image or just a sensation that arises when we whisper metta, metta, metta. And breathing in and out, and releasing the index finger and thumb, and then connecting the middle finger and thumb. Breathing in and out. And whispering karuna. Noticing what arises in the body, the heart, the mind. Karuna. Karuna. And releasing and breathing in and out. And just being with, noticing if there was similar responses, different responses in the mind and the heart and the body. Loving kindness and metta, karuna and compassion are closely related, and yet they build on one another. The root of the word compassion in Latin, compati, means to suffer with. So metta is like to care. We care. There's loving kindness. Karuna, compassion, compate, to suffer with, is to respond. You might say compassion is love in action. Christopher Germer has done a lot of research with, her name is Emma Sapala, with the center at Stanford in California, the Center of Self-Care and Mindfulness. And they've written some books together. He's written his own articles. He says a moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life. So with everything that we're going through in our lives on an individual basis and on a collective basis, just today, just this week, Afghanistan, the images that we see, Haiti. The images we see and the images we imagine and beyond, what's happening in our own communities, in our own neighborhoods, in our own cities. Just in our own hearts. And knowing that this pain, this suffering can not be fixed or solved, but all suffering can be more tolerable, more bearable, more approachable in this realm of compassion. Compassion is a multi-textured response to the pain, to the sorrow, to our anguish. Compassion includes the kindness, generosity, empathy, and acceptance. It includes the courage, tolerance, and equanimity. Whenever we're faced with or feeling overwhelmed by the grief, the pain, the suffering, it can help us, it helps us to remember four things, and they're actually called the Four Remembrances. We pause for presence. We say yes to what's here, turn towards love, and then rest in awareness. And these four remembrances are really about staying present, which is our natural state of loving awareness, our natural state of compassionate mindfulness. Pausing for presence is about learning to release the old habits of turning away and avoiding discomfort and unpleasantness. It's about learning to be with whatever's here now, recognizing and allowing from our rain practice. So when we pause, when we notice that we're in pain, we notice we're in stress, we notice we're in irritation, we can pause and take a breath. Pause to recognize and allow those sensations, thoughts, and emotions. Breathe deeply. A few breaths. Notice how we feel, and when we pause for presence, we're able to sense more clarity, serenity, that underlying resilience. And then we say yes to what's here. We say yes to our inner pain and suffering. And when we do that, we're saying yes to the emotional triggers of our inner conflicts. We're meeting our edges and softening. We're not loosening our boundaries with others. So it's good to practice with small or medium discomforts at first before opening our hearts to our biggest wounds. When we say yes, we whisper to ourselves. We can mentally or even physically bow to our experience or slightly smile in our hearts. And then we may shift in our bodies, our hearts, and our minds. Then we turn towards love. As we experience these feelings of grief, loneliness, unworthiness, whatever it is we're feeling, we pause, we say yes, and turn toward love. We're practicing the metta phrases from last week. Can give ourselves a hug. We can remember the caring love from our dear ones, imagining the caring messages from a spiritual figure. We can remember or envision ourselves being bathed in a warm, radiant light. We can remember what it feels like to be held by a loved one. We can envision and imagine whatever brings the sensations, the thoughts and emotions of love, and that helps us turn towards love. And finally, we rest in awareness, rest in the stillness. We notice what we're experiencing, and then we allow that to fall into the background and sit with our own presence. And the more we practice resting in our awareness, resting in awareness, we become more and more comfortable and eager to pause and find this inner stillness of being. So let's take a few deep breaths. And settle in, releasing any tension. And in this compassion meditation, we're going to start with a person close to you. We're going to widen our circle, and then we're going to come back to ourselves. So as you breathe in and out, take a moment and scan through your close friends, your family, and choose someone you know is having a difficult time. Don't pick the most difficult time for this practice today. And connect with your intention to awaken compassion towards this person. Become aware of whatever is most prominent about this person as you reflect on their current challenge. You might recall a mood that they're often in. You might think about their appearance, the essence of their heart. Maybe you want to connect with one of their regular activities that stands out for you. Or maybe you want to recall a recent communication and the spirit of that communication. And now let your sense of this person, how they live, how they express themselves. Let the sense of this person be just as it is without adding any judgment. And with tenderness, curiosity, and interest, ask about their experience. Imagine feeling with their heart, viewing the world from their perspective. investigate deeply about their experience. And you might use some of these questions to explore what it's like being you. Connecting with this person and asking what life circumstances are most distressing to you. What fears, disappointments, and hurts are you carrying? What are you believing about yourself? How does this current life situations feel in your heart and body? How did the emotions of fear, hurt, pain, anger, shame feel in your heart and body? And where inside do you feel most vulnerable? And what does that vulnerable place most want or need right now? From others? From yourself? And holding this person and their vulnerability in your heart. Expand your awareness to all the sounds around us, include it all. People think that when we meditate, it's supposed to be quiet and serene, but this is real life, and this is the practice, is staying centered and grounded no matter what is happening around us. So holding this person and their vulnerability in your heart and expanding your awareness to your whole body, to the sounds, the silence, and the space all around you. And from this inclusive heart space, including all of it, feel this being this person as part of you and offer whatever's needed. Offer whatever's needed. Forgiveness, acceptance, being held, understanding. You might offer care energetically as a flow of warmth, an image, through whispered words. Imagine this person receiving and letting in your care. Imagine this person healed, happy, and well. And we might use our Tonglen breathing here. You can breathe in the reality of the person's experience and breathe out your offering of space, care, or whatever it is you sense is needed. Breathing in the person's experience and breathing out your offering. Now I invite you to enlarge the field of compassion to include all those who are experiencing this same suffering. If the person you're reflecting on is grieving a loss, connect with and offer care to all those who are grieving loss. If this person is feeling lonely, connect with and offer care to all those who suffer this way. Sense the willingness or the resistance in your heart. Just be with whatever's present. And again, we can return to the breathing. Breathing in the pain and suffering. And breathing out, offering the care to all beings. Just having the intention. Breathing in the suffering in your community. And breathing out a loving awareness. Breathing in and offering care as you breathe out. And now I invite you to come into your own heart, connecting to the tender place in you that is experiencing the same suffering. Asking yourself, what is the care that your heart is asking for? A mental whisper, a hug, envisioning yourself being held in a warm, radiant light. Remembering the gentle embrace of a loved one. And breathing in your own experience. And breathing out the care, the space, the compassion. Breathing in whatever's present. And breathing out the corona. Breathing in and breathing out. And now noticing the qualities of heart and presence within you. Is there a sense of openness, tenderness, love? Whatever you find, let go and rest. Rest there. And listen to these words from Martha Postlewaite, Clearing. Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forests of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worth of rescue. Yes, sir. Namaste. Thank you. So next week we will have the third of the heavenly abodes, mudita, sympathetic joy.
I had in my head it was out at the hammocks, and I went out early to be there, and I was just having a lovely time relaxing, and then I realized it was time, and no one else was with me.
Oh, well, I'm glad you had a nice time out there.
It was lovely. There's a nice breeze.
They're so nice out there.
It is. And you know, the weather is just so unpredictable right now, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, yeah, we were convinced it was going to be rainy because the weather